the sloppy Joe of Philly
Okay.
cheesesteaks.
We're playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and she's like, "What is this about?" Going back to the burger part.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bread and Burgers, where we love to discuss everything about burgers and everything life. So close.
So close, Jonas.
So close. Okay, but today we have another guest with us that is a friend of myself and John. We also know from seminary. We have the one and only Jacky Chan.
Whoa,
Hello.
there's a joke in there somewhere.
One more thing. Anyway, so we met Jacky in seminary when all of us were in the Bay Area. Jacky was also studying in seminary with us, and he is also running a poke shop. And,
No. Hold on.
Hold on.
Not a poke shop, a poke empire.
Empire.
Not yet.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, like market share or something. Eventually, we'll talk about it. But yeah,
so
a poke empire.
We really enjoy having him here, and would just want to kind of, have a conversation. I'm gonna go all over the place, but to start off, I guess one of the questions that maybe you can explain a little better than
Any of
than
us
we
really.
can is what is poke and how did you get into it?
Okay, so I answer now, right? Okay. Well, poke, how did I get in? So I've always wanted to open things in Canada that other places have and we don't. Canada or Toronto, and specifically where I live, we always are a little slow to pick up on trends of the world. I don't know why. We just are. I mean, how long have the States had poke for?
If you count
Okay.
Hawaii,
Okay.
very
Besides
long time.
Hawaii, I'm talking about just, I guess, California. How long has California had poke for?
At least,
least
5
5
years,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if not more than that.
give
So
or take.
Toronto,
I mean-
when I first opened my poke store, I was one of the first ones, and that was 3.5 years ago. So we were always a little slow. I first had it in States, in Hawaii, and I thought, wow, this is delicious. We love Japanese food here. We love sushi here. Why don't we have something like poke in Toronto? And then I thought, my friends and I were like, we can definitely do this here, because why not? It's just kind of like sashimi and chopped up, right? And so we went ahead and we did it, and we opened up the store.
Cool. So for those of you who've never heard of poke, because I know where I'm out in kind of Worcester, Mass, which is about 40 miles west of Boston. Like we just got our first poke store last year.
Really? Wow.
Behind
Are you
Toronto.
serious?
It's so there's a lot of stuff. I think there's places that are slower than Toronto, and so for those of you that don't know what it is, it's basically a bowl of cubed raw fish, right? As Jacky said, sashimi that served kind of like a salad. But do you guys do you try to emulate sort of like a traditional style Hawaiian poke, or do you kind of add your own twist, or how did you come up with some of your recipes?
So originally we totally wanted to be as authentic as possible. I know there's a lot of poke places that have been popping up all over North America that kind of does just the sashimi, and then whatever sauce you want, they'll put the sauce on top, mix it, and then put it on your bowl, and they call that poke. That's not poke.
Right.
When I had it in Hawaii, everything was pre-marinated. It was served on in platters, nice and flavorful, and that's what we want. So all our poke are marinated ahead of time. So that in that sense, it's authentic. But obviously, with the toppings that we have in our disposal in North America, there's a little bit of twist to it. Like in Hawaii, you pretty much it's just a fish, maybe a little bit of seaweed salad and a little bit of avocado. But here we put in kimchi, corn.
Kimchi. Wow.
Who doesn't like kimchi, right? So we do put in different toppings and different sauces. That is more, I guess, a twist. But the poke itself, we try to be as authentic as possible.
Okay. Do you develop a lot of the recipes yourself, or do you work with other people? Do you have someone else do it?
So the three of us, myself and two other partners, we come up with all the recipe. Uh, we do try to look at recipes that online, how the Hawaiians did it. So like sesame oil, soy sauce. That's kind of the basic one. And then we experiment, we test it. We want to add more stuff here and there, and then we come up with the different recipes. But one of the partners, my partner, is in the food industry, so he's a little bit more better at coming up these recipes. We're just there to kind of help out and taste it with him.
Okay, so you're saying that he is more like his palate, he can taste the difference between like A and B, and then like the chewiness of it, like he has that kind of
I
vocabulary
believe so.
for
Yeah,
that,
I
right?
believe he's a little bit better than myself. I mean, I love food, so but I think being in the industry a bit longer than I have, and him owning two other restaurants, would probably
Wow.
make him a better suited person to come up with this recipe.
But then again, Jackie, I mean, if just a few minutes ago you were talking about how there's authentic poke and non-authentic poke, right? So I mean, you kind of have that idea of what is the essentials of poke. And again, for those of you who are joining us for the first time in Bread and Burgers, we really talked about extensively about the essentials of a burger, right? Is it a bun, a patty, a bun, and all that? So for all food groups, poke being one of them, I imagine it's the same, right? There is just some things that you cannot change about poke.
I mean, when I went to Hawaii, the most authentic poke was tuna. That was what
Okay.
all the restaurants, all the supermarkets had, and they had it with soy sauce, sesame oil. So that's kind of the base of what our poke is, like kind of the base. And then we make a spin on it by having spicy on it, or one of our sweeter
Okay.
one is honey ginger. That's our own recipe. But the base of the recipe with the sesame oil and the soy sauce that gives the poke the flavoring, that's kind of like the staple, sesame oil and soy sauce.
So, so then do you have like people who come in and want to order like salmon and hamachi only poke or something like that? Like that's not poke to be honest. But
Actually, our best-selling poke is actually salmon, which in Hawaii is very
Okay.
rare. It's not like they don't have it. It's just tuna is the more popular one in Hawaii, and same with taco, which is octopus. Those are the most popular one. But I mean, in Toronto, I mean, even in North America, I think salmon is just very popular with general population.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the kind of the first fish they go for when they have sushi and sashimi.
So what do you think about that? Like how does that make you feel? Because I mean, poke traditionally should be, tuna and maybe taco, but then salmon.
Well, for myself, when I eat poke, or if I go to another store to try poke, North America, even in Asia, I always go for tuna because that's what I like and that's what I
Okay.
think poke should be. But I'm not gonna, to put it bluntly, I'm not gonna fight money. If people want to buy salmon poke, I'm gonna sell salmon poke. I mean, it is what it is.
Okay, so that means you're not holding a tight line on this is poke and everything else is poke
Yes,
plus.
I'm
or
not. I
whatever.
mean, I will sell the authentic stuff, and when people ask me what I recommend, I will tell them what I think is authentic and what I think is the best. But at the end of the day, if they want salmon poke, then I will sell salmon poke.
Okay, that's
So if
true.
someone walks into your store never having had poke before and like, I want to, what should my first impression of poke be? You would definitely recommend just kind of like a simple tuna with, soy sauce, sesame oil.
I would
kind of.
definitely say have the original, the tuna one, just with white rice and maybe very minimal toppings, just to get the authentic feel. And if you want to add different things in the future and try out your own combination, by all means, right? But definitely, I will recommend the most authentic ones that I've had in Hawaii.
So you were talking about minimal toppings, though. Do you find just adding too much toppings or even random toppings together kind of, breaks away that authenticity or even the authenticity of that?
I think so. I mean, When I had it in Hawaii, it was very basic. It was just a tuna, rice, and maybe a little bit of seaweed salad on it. And when I work at a store, I look at all my toppings and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry today. I'll eat this. I'll eat this. I'll eat this. And I end up putting like 5 toppings on my bowl. And when I come sitting down and actually eating the bowl, I'm like, what am I eating? It is a jumble of all the flavors, which really takes away from the flavor of the fish. So, I mean, to each their own. I have customers come in and be like, oh, can I have one of every sauce? They put like 6, 7 mayo sauces on their bowl, and it just looks like a mountain of sauce on. I mean, they like it. I mean, it is what they like, so I'm not gonna judge them. But I think, I would personally say just try the original one and then add different 1 or 2 toppings to your liking.
Yeah.
Do you feel like poke has to be like exclusively seafood, right? Like I think we've discussed like North American poke have kind of altered or sort of taken over this idea of poke that's come over from Hawaii. So most American places are probably pretty different than the traditional Hawaiian markets for poke. And so do you feel like is there such a thing as like poke as like a mode of food, right? Like, could I essentially take, it's like what I'm thinking was like, could I essentially take almost anything that I would see in like a kaiten sushi bar and make it poke?
I could be wrong, but I think the word poke is just diced or chopped up seafood. So in that sense, I think it should be seafood. I mean, for my store, we sell tofu as a substitute for poke, and we kind of call it tofu poke.
Okay.
And it's for the people who don't like raw seafood or just don't like seafood in general. And I've seen stores that sell like beef poke and chicken poke. Just honestly, in my opinion, just call it a beef bowl. Just call it a chicken bowl. That's not poke. Just because you put it in a poke store and you dice it up kind of like a poke, it doesn't make it a beef poke or chicken poke. So I believe it should be seafood.
Okay. So you're saying really poke is actually more of both the ingredient and the mode of it presenting it kind of in that form. So again, beef poke is not poke because beef is beef.
Yeah, I
seafood.
mean, that's a good point, and I think, right, like, because where I would go for like beef poke and how it would be different from like a beef bowl is like, what if I did like a really fancy like beef tartar over rice, and
But that would be just a beef
That's
tartar.
beef tartar over rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and again, because we talked about this, right? When does a burger stop becoming a burger, right? So when does poke stop becoming poke? When just there's something that defines it is gone. But what about non-raw fish? I mean, besides tofu, right? Like cooked
Is
tuna.
your taco cooked?
Taco is cooked. So it doesn't have to be raw fish. I've had taco in Hawaii. I've had shrimp, surf clam. They make poke out of surf clam. They make poke out of crab meat sticks. So they pretty much poke every seafood they can find in Hawaii. I think it's okay. I think that's all poke, but it's just the most popular ones in Hawaii would be tuna.
Okay.
All right. So to transition a little bit, we've been talking a lot about kind of your specialty poke, but here on Bread and Burgers, John's made a couple of allusions. Our what we kind of know are burgers, and so what do you?
We want to talk about our burgers, right? I don't want to say we're the burger experts, but
do you have? Like, what do you like burgers? Do you is like, where does it rate on your kind of like favorite food list?
Top favorite food list. I definitely crave burgers once in a while, but I don't think I will go as far as saying that it is one of my top food.
Okay.
And I think my definition of burger is very different from a lot of people.
Okay.
I mean, some of your other podcasts you say is Philly cheesesteak a burger? It's not. It's a sandwich, right? But I don't know. I think burgers could be pretty much anything that's two buns inside, and it's a burger.
Ooh, okay.
Contentious there.
Yeah, scandalous. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I respect your point of view, for that. But so yeah, describe your typical burger. Like when you think about burger, what is it like? What does it
To
look
me,
like?
mostly is beef, is the beef patty. And when I mean two buns, I mean like burger buns. I don't mean like two square bread. That's I wouldn't call that burger. But I mean just a square bun.
Okay.
In the middle, if it's whether it's chicken in the middle, turkey in the middle, Beyond Meat, I don't know. I think that is still a burger.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, so then you when you think about a burger, like you close your eyes and you imagine that awesome burger, right? Then it's just pretty much you're just gonna use like bun, and then a beef patty, and then a bun. What's inside? Like, is there like sauce? Like, do you want that raw?
Like,
not
are you a
raw, but-
cheeseburger guy? Do you like
I'm
cheese?
not a cheeseburger guy. I wouldn't say no to cheese, but if I had to add money to it, I wouldn't add money for it.
Oh man, that's two for no cheeseburger that we've
Okay.
talked to.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, but what about the rest? Like, greens.
I'm very simple. I like
tomatoes.
just ketchup on my burger. I might add maybe like some pickles in there or onions, but I wouldn't go too crazy on like crazy amount of toppings. Just one or two maybe.
You've
And it
just
makes sense, right?
described-
It sounds like poke. Like you said, I don't want too much.
Yeah.
I just want decent amount.
Because
Simple.
at a
You-
point
you-
where if you put so many things, so many condiments into your burger, you just taste condiments. Like,
I can understand that. I can appreciate that. So, what you've described to me in terms of your ideal burger would be like a McDonald's hamburger. In some
I mean, it's
sense.
not the best, but I wouldn't say no to a quarter pounder.
I mean, if you up the beef quality, maybe, yeah. Okay, quarter pounder.
I wouldn't say no to it, but it's not the best burger out there.
Okay. Is there anything in Toronto that's kind of like a Canadian burger chain that's kind of like In and Out or something?
Probably Harvey's. I don't know if you guys heard of it. Harvey's.
Hardee's.
Yeah.
Harvey's.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
just it's a Canadian burger chain. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they have any in the States. It's kind of like a fast food burger chain, kind of above McDonald's, but maybe under Shake Shack. So not as like high end as Shake Shack, but not as, I guess, for lack of a better word. cheap as
So you
McDonald's.
you would say Shake Shack is high, is high end.
I mean higher. I wouldn't say it's like a premium brand.
Okay,
But definitely one of the higher brands.
Okay. There are Shake Shacks in Toronto?
No. Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Like for me, like McDonald's burger, like a cheap burger, you can get it for like what, $3. Harvey's, you're looking at like $5-6. Shake Shack, you're
Okay.
talking about like $8-9 for a burger, for a good one.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
Roughly. I mean, Shake Shack is probably about the same price as like Smash Burger or Five Guys, which end up around there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have Five Guys here, and I guess kind of like it's right under Five Guys
Oh.
in the cost wise.
Okay.
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 But is there a Toronto or I don't want to just say Canadian, but is there a Toronto like specialty, for like this is the Toronto burger, right? Like for example, in California, you would say a Californian style burger or California style burger would have avocado in it for sure.
No, I don't think so. Not that I eat burgers enough to know that there's a Torontonian burger. But there is
Okay.
a burger chain that's a little bit more similar to like the Shake Shack kind of burger called Burgers Priest. That's popping up in Toronto. I mean, in the last couple of years, they probably have 7-8 locations now. They have some pretty special burgers. I would say, like I think they have one called like the Vatican or something. There's one called like the Blue Priest. So the owner actually was a seminary student that ended up opening this burger chain. I don't know why he
Nice.
used priest, but I mean, yeah.
There's Catholic seminary.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Hey,
I
there's
mean,
hope
you
for
know.
us, John.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, wait. I'm gonna hold my tongue right now.
Future career aspirations.
No, there's some things in there that I would rather keep for future episodes. But I guess if Jacky, when you talk about like your burgers is not in your top 10 whatever list. What do you imagine to be a like really good high quality burger or something that you pay say like $10 for?
One, I'm biased because I have an egg allergy. I hate when people put eggs
Okay.
in their burgers. I mean, as in like the patty.
Okay.
Like I know some people use
Okay.
eggs to kind of I don't know make the
Like the binding
right?
agent in a
I
patty.
hate that because I never know if they do, and I end up ordering a burger from a restaurant. I'm like, oh yeah, there's eggs inside, and I eat it. I'm like, oh man, there's eggs inside. So that's one.
Okay.
I just want just the beef, nothing crazy in the I guess the way to make it. Just maybe salt, pepper.
Okay.
I really like burgers that can be made kind of like medium rare.
Okay. So high quality meats.
So like McDonald's, you're not gonna get a medium rare burger. So like something that's
don't
exactly, you
want
don't want to. So
Right.
something that's I can a little bit more on the raw end, so it was more juicy on when I bite into it.
Okay.
That would be what I like. Yeah.
But what about the bun? Sesame, no sesame, toasted, not toasted.
I'm honestly indifferent as long as it doesn't have eggs in it. Because I know some buns have the egg wash on top.
So no brioche.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that next time, if you come by to my house and like, hey, there's a brioche burger.
Yeah, I mean, well, John, you just got to make sure you don't serve him that fried egg burger you love.
Yeah, fair.
You put
I
fried
mean,
egg inside
each his own.
your burger?
Not in. Yeah.
On
well,
top
on top of the burger patty, not inside the bun.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
inside the patty. Yeah.
Well, that would be an interesting concept. A fried egg juicy Lucy.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna work, but yeah. I mean, well, kind of transitioning there too a little bit, but if you say that everything goes in terms of a burger, right? Bun, any type of protein patty bun, or even any type of protein, because you said even a Philly cheesesteak is kind of a burger,
No,
right?
I said Philly cheesesteak is not, because Philly cheesesteak is like a sandwich shaped, right? I mean, it's not.
It's very specifically, I think, Jacky is round bun.
Okay, fine, round bun. So like a sloppy Joe, right? Not patty form, but there. But anyway, I'm not going there. So what about a poke burger? If you start making money from this, we're getting a cut.
I mean,
You
But
heard
anyway,
it here first,
poke
folks.
burger.
Poke burger.
I'll be honest. We've tried something similar, and it totally flopped. So
It's worth a shot.
So we actually our first store. We share the space with a bagel store. They actually use the back kitchen to bake bagels, and then they just ship it off, and then we use the front and we share the kitchen space. So we're like, why don't we try poke bagel? We literally just
Okay.
bagel, put poke inside, put lettuce, put some sauce, close it, and then people can take it to go.
Yeah.
I honestly, when I had it, I'm like, this is actually not as bad as the kind of the thought of it. The thought of poke bagel sounded really weird, but seriously, it's not that bad. I thought it actually tasted pretty good. It just
Okay.
never flew.
Okay. Okay. I mean, was it kind of like mediocre flopping, or is it just like
tanked.
tanking?
We were selling like not
Oh,
even
wow.
one a day. It tanked. Yeah,
Whoa.
people just wasn't up for
Yeah.
that bagel, bagel poke bagel. But maybe they will be more open to like a burger version. But I mean,
you have fish burgers,
Yeah.
right? So, you have like tuna that's mashed into a patty that's cooked. I guess the problem is, not problem, but I guess the next jump will be, can you have raw tuna?
Can you form
Poke.
that into a patty in a way, right? Like the cubes, can you bind them together somehow? Or would it be like a raw fish sloppy Joe?
so like when we talk about the burger, the chicken burger or the fish burger, like filet o fish or what you have it, they they don't have sauce in itself, right? So it doesn't get all soggy. Whereas poke, if you marinate it, it's gonna get soggy, right? That's one. And two, like you said, like it's hard to put it into like a fillet. It's gonna be chopped up. That's poke, right? Poke is a chopped up seafood. So just imagine eating a steak of raw salmon or raw tuna. Sounds kind of gross. I don't know if you guys seen a video. There was this video on YouTube that I've watched before where there's this guy. He literally takes a fillet of salmon this big, and he just bites into it, and it seems like he's enjoying it. I don't know if you guys seen it. It's gross. I mean, he's eating just raw salmon, but the fact that it's in a fillet and he's just biting into it is gross. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense, right? You know, if you do like a beef tartar, then you're like, hey, it's good, right? I mean, you don't bite into a raw piece of steak. You know, it's just weird.
Right, but it is kind of cubed, and it would be hard to. I think it's just the idea of keeping it on the bun would be the biggest challenge.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of it if like some place wanted to supply us with burger buns and then we can do it. Because when we did bagels, we got supplied with like high-end bagels. It wasn't like cheap bagels that you get at Tim Hortons or something. Oh, do you guys have Tim Hortons?
We don't, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So,
and I actually kind of liked Tim Hortons. It was okay.
So if some place was like, hey, want to collab and I will supply you with some nice burger buns, I would be up to trying it, but as of now, probably a hard idea.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that you mentioned, you kind of like a simpler burger, but one of the things that I think I want to try with you guys, and this is for both Jacky and Jon, is I'm just going to start listing off things, and you tell me, right, if you would like to try it on a burger. And again, this is not like everything kind of added together, but like, could you see this working with a burger, or could you see yourself enjoying a burger with this on it, right? So the very like fundamental one that I think Jacky mentioned is like pickles, right? Like some people can't stand pickles on their burgers, and some people kind of like them. And you mentioned you seem to kind of like pickles on your burger.
Yeah,
right,
I'm a pickles guy. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. And Jon, you're...
No.
Wait, you don't
No
like
pickles.
pickles, or you just don't like pickles on a burger?
The only pickles that I like is on a quarter pounder.
But isn't
Everything else, no.
quarter pounder as in like the McDonald's quarter pounder?
Yes.
But okay, interesting.
If you want to know why, it's because like the McDonald's ketchup is a little more tangy than normal, so that the pickle actually helps even kind of pushing it over the edge a little bit. But other than that, normally I kind of don't want pickles.
Okay.
So you're not a fan of animal style burgers?
You know, you told me to try. I actually never tried yet.
You haven't tried animal style burgers yet.
Yeah, I try. I do fry animal well again on in and out, but no animal style burger yet. I will do that, and I will put a review on the channel.
All right, you heard it here, guys. Okay, so Jacky, you're no on cheese. What do you think about like avocado?
Probably a no for me.
No, on avocado.
I feel like the texture, the mushy texture, kind of ruins it for me for the burger. I'm not into the mushiness of it. I like avocados, just not on my burgers.
Right. Okay, so you don't want something mushy mixing with your
Yes.
burger. So like avocado or guac, that sort of thing would be out.
Nope.
Okay.
Are you okay with avocado, Jon?
Yes, avocado, no guac.
Yes, avocado,
Okay.
no guac. So, I mean, the difference, I guess, would just be the texture overall, right?
Yeah,
I mean, a little
yeah.
bit of the flavor, but the avocado still has a little bit of firmness, right?
So going back to our vernacular, right? You know, like the guac is a condiment, but avocado is a fixing, and I would like it as a fixing. You know, so then there's like enough of a shape of avocado, but you know, yeah.
One question for you guys. I don't know. Am I allowed to ask questions on the show?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
No.
So for my poke, we have avocado as a topping. Would you pay more for guac than avocado?
Yes.
You would.
It technically is processed, so it's like the places that sell guac as just mashed up avocado actually probably don't know what guac is. Like places that sell real guac, there is a process to it, right? Like it's the difference between tomatoes and salsa.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I see places where I charge X amount for like a quarter of an avocado. And then there are places where they charge twice the amount for a scoop of guac, like Chipotle. But people are okay with the guac, but not okay with the avocado, which I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, because I think again, because there are the onions, that's part of it. There are the spices, that's part of it. There's a lime juice, that's part of it. And there's a few other things too. So it's a process, right?
I also think it's might just be a perception thing, like all the stuff that gets added in, right? Like people like that kind of processed flavor as opposed to they might not be as keen on just a raw avocado. Even though for a lot of us it's very similar. It's kind of the same thing, but maybe kind of like John, it's like, I prefer one over the other.
Good to know. Thank you.
Okay, back to would you want it on a burger? So you said no to cheese. What about like a pineapple?
Ooh.
A slice of pineapple.
I like it. I like pineapples in my burger. Like I like pineapples in my pizza. Okay, don't hate me. I like pineapples in general, but I still think that in a burger it will just take over the burger.
Okay. So let's move to say like condiments now. So I'm gonna take a couple. Well, actually no, one more that I think we could consider this poke burger fusion. What about crab salad?
On a burger?
Yeah.
I can't have crab salad because it has mayo.
Okay.
I can't answer that.
Oh, because mayo is egg.
But if I could eat it, I would also say no. I think it would just take away from the burger.
Okay. John, would
Hey,
you...
thank you for telling me, because secret sauce, mayo.
That is true.
Ketchup.
That is true.
Yeah, but anyway, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I think crab salad is a little weird.
So what about like a bonito or seaweed salad?
No, that will also take away from
No.
it. But we did put it in my
so-
poke bagel, and that tasted pretty good.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
apparently it works somewhere.
Poke bagel to me is just kind of like an Eastern version of like lox, right? Lox
Fair
and
enough.
capers on a
Fair
bagel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so condiments. Do you like? I know. So a lot of mayo-based stuff is probably out of the picture, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not the best guest. I can't have half the food you
That's okay.
suggested.
It's okay. I had a friend I used to have that I hung out with, and he has what's called a nightshade sensitivity, which means he can't eat anything with tomatoes or pepper.
Oh wow.
Never heard of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of like an allergy, but isn't. But it's just whenever we had to cook for him, it was like, oh man, this
Like
is a pain.
pepper, as in
'cause
like bell peppers, or any type of pepper, like even like.
it includes
Oh
peppercorn.
wow, that's tough. That's
Wow.
tough.
So yeah, but so you'd be creative around it. Do you like? Would you like a teriyaki burger? I've heard John's opinion on this. Would you like a teriyaki burger?
Probably not. Probably
Okay.
not.
So no teriyaki burger with a slice of pineapple.
I think, no. I mean, if I'm just thinking of a burger, no.
Okay. What about like a wasabi or horseradish?
Ooh. Also, no. I think I'm very boring in trying my things. Maybe it's because I want like authentic burger, just the meat and the ketchup. So maybe I.
Okay. So just ketchup, not even like mustard.
No.
No. Okay. So ketchup, pickles, onions. You hear that, John?
Pickle. Ketchup.
McDonald's cheeseburger with no mustard.
See, then
Or
Jonas,
McDonald's hamburger.
you gotta perfect, your cheeseburger, McDonald's cheeseburger
No
episode.
cheese, right? Like, and,
Oh.
okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But you know, pickles, onions, right? You get the diced onions, you get the pickle, and then you just put it on the burger, and that's it, and some ketchup.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, okay, that is interesting, and maybe
Does that throw your condiments out the window?
I mean, we gotta think. We gotta be creative, right? Like no egg means we can't do any mayo base. And
I
so,
mean, I don't mind
Yeah.
putting some hot sauce in there,
hot sauce. Oh, okay. So you don't mind hot sauce.
as long as it's not
All right.
overly flavorful. Just gives it a little kick. Then I'm good.
Okay. So like Tabasco, but maybe not like buffalo.
Yes, that's a good comparison.
Or
Maybe
would you,
sriracha? Not too much, because sriracha has that garlicky flavor too. A little bit
Okay.
would be okay, but
Okay.
yeah.
I have
I'm
a
gonna
friend-
go with a Chinese one. And I'm sure Jonas, you can understand Cantonese. 老乾媽,
Yes,
you know
I
what
have
that
a whole bottle, like a whole glass bottle at home.
I guess it depends on which
So-
one you go with, though.
Yeah, so for you guys that don't know, it's like a fried chili oil, with is it bean paste?
I think
like-
There's different versions, but it's essentially like fried chili.
Yeah.
If
really
those of
good.
you that aren't like super sure, and you've been to say like a Chinese like dim sum place that has the little jar with the spoon and the oil and the flakes in it, it's
Yeah.
kind of like that.
It's kind of
But-
like that, only better.
Because
by a
yeah,
lot.
it's better.
Yeah.
So would you put that on a burger?
100% not. That is so weird.
We had someone that we know put it on spaghetti, and he said it was
I
good.
wouldn't mind spaghetti.
I can
Just
see
letting
that.
you know.
I can
Just
see
letting you know.
spaghetti.
What?
I can see spaghetti.
How can you see spaghetti but not a burger?
Wait, was this spaghetti with tomato sauce?
No.
White sauce?
So it's just like
Spaghetti with that specific Chinese hot sauce.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
No, then it's just like it's just like fried
I think
noodles.
it's good. I can eat that.
It's just like chow mein.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I can go with anyways. No, I mean I know it because like my parents used to use pasta as a noodle substitute because it's easier. Whenever they were
Okay.
making dry noodles.
Okay. Fair enough.
But okay, so we're gonna kind of transition into a different segment, and I'm gonna explain it to you because while I let John kind of set this up, do we still want to do the numbers, John?
No.
No. Okay, so John's just gonna pick random cards. So John got this wonderful, wonderful game. Have you had a chance to take ethics yet?
Christian ethics? I am taking
Yeah.
it right now.
Okay. Well,
Sweet.
this may or may not help you with that class, but basically the idea behind this is kind of one of those ethics thought exercises. I don't know if you talked about it in your class, but have you ever heard of the trolley dilemma?
Nope.
Okay, so you are the conductor of a trolley, and the rail splits in two in front of you, right? On one side there is a group of people, and on the other side there's another group of people, and you have to run one group over. And so John is going to pitch us a scenario of
Okay.
who you're going to kill.
So again, on the two rails, there's going to be someone who, again, subjectively they are, they're good people, and then there are some, I guess, for the game designers, objectively they're bad people. On each rail, there's going to be a good person and a bad person. And so rail A has this.
Oh, man, this is fun.
Everyone over the age of 40. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna just read it to you. We're gonna get an overlay. Everyone over the age of 40 as the good person on rail A,
Okay.
but paired with the artificial intelligence that will one day enslave humanity.
Okay.
Tough choice, right?
The Matrix.
The Matrix, or
What?
as we were talking about. So on rail B, it's actually every nurse on Earth as the good people. But the bad person is the person who invented pop-up ads.
The person who invented what?
Pop-up ads.
Pop-up ads.
Pop up ads. Okay, so
A or B. That's your
recap.
dilemma.
A is killer AI
Yes.
and anyone over the age of 40.
Yes.
And B is the inventor of the Popup
Yes.
and every single nurse.
Yes.
So the question is, who are you going to run over? And this could be a discussion,
I
you know.
totally thought
right?
this was something to do with burgers. I guess not.
You thought wrong.
I probably A.
So you'd run over the killer AI and people
Yeah.
over 40.
I mean, the killer AI would kill us all anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if you, but justify your actions, right? That means that your parents.
I love you, Mom. Go go see Jesus.
You know, I mean, world leaders for the most part, right? Everybody over age of 40.
You know,
Jonas
world
in a
would
few
al-
years.
I mean, aren't you closer?
But if we don't kill the AI, we're all gonna die anyway.
Well, it said enslave, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we might all get plugged into the Matrix.
And live happily ever after as Mr. Anderson, but you know.
A.
Still
I don't know. I think if
Okay.
we think of it like in a utilitarian ethic perspective, then would probably be B because there are less people in B. Because there are less
Yeah.
nurses than
Sure.
I guess the 40 plus population, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
that
exactly.
perspective, I would go B. But I still think that the ultimately the AI controlling the world would do more harm in the long run, and that's where my answer would be.
Sure.
Okay.
The AI does seem a lot worse than the guy that invented pop-ups, right?
But
Like,
I think Jacky made a right point though that given the amount of people that will suffer, you know, for every nurse in the world. I mean, technically, you would be killing all the nurses, but you're not killing the profession in theory because one
In
there's going to
theory.
be I mean, nuance, right? There's going to be like physician assistants and doctors and EMTs maybe. So nurses, the population of nurses can repopulate.
yeah,
Maybe.
and- true. But I also like at the flip side, if you're looking at the negative percentile, right? Like the again nuance, right? The inventor of the pop-up ad. Are we presuming that pop-up ads have already been invented? In which case, it just seems kind of vindictive to run him over.
Well, I mean, oh, yeah.
Right? Like there's no actual reason to run over the pop-up ad guy if pop-up ads
Yeah.
are already a thing.
So I mean, like, is this train like Back to the Future in like the 1500s or was it 1500s, 1800s?
Okay, so like this guy will invent the pop-up ads,
I think if we do go back, I think for the sake of this game, I think going back would make it more fun. So we will kill him off, but I don't think that will stop it from ever being invented.
So someone else will
Someone
invent pop-up ads
someone
even
else
if we
will
kill off
invent
this
it,
guy.
I'm sure.
Or he'll
Fine.
invent something worse than
Yeah.
pop-up ads.
Killer pop-up ads.
Ooh, killer AI pop-up ads.
Okay. So again, anyway, killer AI. You don't want to live in the Matrix. To be a battery for the rest of your life. Makes sense. I'm sorry, Jacky's mom. That's kind of it.
Oh, well.
So, one more round.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go one more.
Let's reset the trolley. We have an animation now. Unfortunately, not yet.
I mean, or it could just be the track splits again after running over the AI.
Okay, fair enough. So, again, on the good people. Again, I don't even know why this one is good, but
I mean, it's a relatively
I mean, everyone's bad, right?
yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, fine. So actually, yes.
Theology. Let's
Um,
go.
yes, but so this one, the good person, or the good card is that a CDC van transporting a cool new strain of highly contagious plague.
So I think the premise behind this, right? Like it's not necessarily good per se objectively, but it's just something you don't want to run over. And presumably, if you run over
Fair
the van,
enough.
you release the virus
Oh,
or
Fair
plague.
enough.
okay.
Now, on that same track is the leader of a dangerous cult.
Okay.
Because, you hit the leader, the cult dies, right? So, on the other track, a little good young artist drawing his first masterpiece, Justin Pollock here. And the politician who will one day start World War III.
Okay. So to recap, track A is a CDC van carrying a deadly disease that if you run it over, it will release the disease into the world. And the leader of a cult, a dangerous cult.
Dangerous cult.
On the other side is a young, up-and-coming, like, artistic prodigy drawing his first piece. And the future instigator of World War III.
B.
All right, so you're gonna run over. You're gonna keep the van safe, and you're gonna run over, try to prevent World War III.
By killing an innocent
Yes.
little kid.
The artistic genius. He could have been like the next.
Michelangelo. Picasso.
I'm not an artistic person. I don't really care about art.
Fine. I mean, okay. The next awesome filmmaker, Christopher Nolan. Scorsese.
I mean,
For this one, I'm just looking at the two bad. I think the World War III guy would probably kill more people than the cult.
Okay. And I mean, I guess it is stacked, right? Because you have the CDC ban, and you kind of don't want to.
Yeah,
To
we
hit
don't want
that,
another
okay.
coronavirus.
Yeah, there is the sense that hitting the CDC van seems to be slightly more impactful than depriving the world of art. And
See,
as
the
I
only
say
the only
this-
thing about it is, and truthfully, is that World War II didn't. I mean, it ended with nuclear weapons, or at least atomic weapons. But now we have nukes.
Yeah, World War III
So-
is a very, very kind of scary proposition in terms of like what it would look like and the amount of devastation that there would be.
That's another topic too. What is World War III going to be like? Because
Let's hope it never
one
exists.
for sure, But if it does happen, I don't think it's what we think a war would be. If it was gonna be a war,
maybe
the whole world is gone anyway.
maybe it's like a killer
I mean, it's
AI.
bad. Or I mean, like maybe it's the movie War Games.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, what if you say it's like that? Then is it okay? You rather kill the
simulate
politician who would start
What
World
if
War
World
III?
War III is a giant League of Legends tournament?
Wow, that sounds amazing. But the virus will still kill more people. That would
Sure.
be my reasoning.
That's fair.
Because I honestly think World War III is going to be more economical and political than actually like, I'm gonna nuke you.
How far do we get from burgers? But
Hey man,
Yeah.
that's what this show is about, and so that's probably gonna be it for us this time. Jacky, do you have anything that like you want to plug, or people can find you, or where to hit you up? What they should do if they're ever in Toronto?
You can email me. I don't know why I'm so.
come on.
You can email me at PokeGuys. I mean, I have my PokeGuys email.
Is there like a Poke Guys IG
We
account
do.
or
It's just
something
po-
that they can
Poke,
follow?
like Poke, Poke, And guys, GUYSTO for Toronto. Poke Guys TO.
Okay. We will have that in the show notes. And so thanks for joining us again for this conversation. Special thank you to Jacky for being here with us. And, hopefully we can have more conversations. We can try some poke. We can help Jacky find a non-egg-based condiment. And
That's going to be a tough one. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you around.
Thank you for having me. It was actually fun.
Jonas. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon and all that jazz.
Oh, yeah. See, we're still working out this whole intro, outro thing. Yeah, so as Jon said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment on what you like in a burger, what you like in your poke, and, follow for more updates and conversations. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.